EOS talks about healthy in terms of vision traction, healthy. And vision and traction have some really solid tools in there. Accountability charts, scorecards, rocks. Those are all execution. We meet every week, knocking out all the structural barriers. Vision is pretty clear with the VTO, but what's missing is the healthy side, like measurable health. And so I was deeply embedded in the world of the Q12 and employee engagement. It's a big statistical thing. I'm a statistics guy. Then when EOS came in, I was always trying to build a matrix between here are the 12 critical needs and here are the EOS tools. And it was never like a perfect match, but it's always in the back of my mind guiding. And so 2014, 13 was back when everybody was complaining about millennials. And that was like client number 72 for me. But I didn't see that pattern happening in my clients. As a matter of fact, their millennials were destroying the mold. And we had millennials on the senior leadership team. They were like 28, 32 years old. And what I did is I asked my clients for permission to engage with these millennials to figure out what we were doing through EOS that was breaking the mold. And what came out of that was 7 things. The millennials had these needs that needed to be met. They wanted to know what it meant to belong, and they wanted to know what they were being asked to believe in, and they wanted accountability to be super clear. They wanted to know exactly how they were being measured. They wanted to know how the organization listens and how they could be heard. They wanted to know how they could be involved in their own development, and they wanted to know what balance looked like, work life and money, et cetera. And what EOS is really good at doing is defining those 7 things. When you do an implementation really well, you're defining what it means to belong, and you're inviting people in to join this organization. If you belong, it's nirvana. If you don't, it's hell on earth. We're being very clear what we're asking people to believe in, our focus, our strategy, what our niche is. We're being very clear what people are accountable for, clarity around how they're measured, clarity around how they can be involved in a conversation, clarity around how they can, be developed through rocks, et cetera. And then it ultimately balances, do you GWC, do you have the capacity to do this work? So EOS defined all of that stuff. And when you survey over time, patterns emerge and you look into the toolbox to understand what tools we have inside EOS can allow the individuals to get to alignment to each one of the needs.